One, two, three. Okay, we are on. So this part is gonna be my interview section, and my friend Taha here is gonna be the one interviewing me, so I don't sound like a nut job. All right, Taha, do you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. First, can you tell us your name, grade, and year?
Yeah. So my name is Mia Binsfeld, and I'm currently a freshman here at MCAD.
Okay, nice. Okay, so the first question is, as an artist, what is your goal?
I think, I thought about this question before, and I think what connects like everything. When I was little, I would just always like love storytelling with my art. So I think like whatever I do in the future, I would always like want to like add some sort of narrative or storytelling aspect to it, whether that's like, like a gallery, like work or like a comic, or like something, anything. I think I always want to incorporate like a story to it, or like, I don't know, just something like that, because I think that's something I always love doing with my art. It's just like sharing a story. That's my goal.
Yeah. And that's like one thing that's like different about you and me because when I make art, I don't really think about like the story. I just kind of do it. Whereas like I do want to improve on that aspect, and like I feel like having a story is like really good for the audience because they can like interpret it however they want and stuff, and maybe ask you like, and you can give like in-depth detail about that. But I do like that your art always has a story and like a personal connection to you somehow. Really
Thank
nice.
you.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, I mean, no, you go.
No, I don't have anything else to say. I was just gonna ask the next question. Okay, go.
Oh, I was just gonna add on to say like, I mean, I do enjoy like making art that's like just aesthetically like fun, because I mean like if you see my, okay, I have two Instagrams. I have a digital one and a traditional one. My digital one is for more like for the aesthetics. Like I just want to draw pretty girls on there. There's like not much I incorporate that's like storytelling aspect. Maybe like the background, but for the traditional ones, that's like where I like go deeper into like a concept if I have one. But like it's good to be balanced. Yang yang.
Yeah.
Gang gang.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question. Where do you see yourself after you graduate?
I think after I graduate, I see myself like hopefully in an art career. I mean I understand if like I don't immediately get in the field, if I have to work as a barista, live that storyline. Well,
Your art?
okay, you know what? Actually, I wouldn't mind being like working at like a cake decorating factory or cookie decorating factory. Like honestly, I'd be down. Like probably not what I want to do for the rest of my life, but like like those like decorative like sweet shops where they like decorate the cookies for the Instagrams.
It's so cute.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think like, but okay, that's not my main goal. We're getting sidetracked. So let's start from the beginning. I was born in 2004. I'm kidding. So my goal after I graduate is to, I think as of right now, like going with my like, wanting to tell stories with my art. I would like want to, uh, do like a comic type of thing, right? Tell a story through a comic. I don't know. I'm like still conflicted because I don't know. I like all sorts of art, but I think comic is where I see myself realistically right now. Yeah. Just because I love it has like everything I love, I think. Except for like the only thing is maybe like I'm not the best on like, after a while I lose motivation on like a project I'm passionate about. So maybe it was like I don't know, something you know what, that's just something I had to work on. But I could also see myself like maybe my main goal is like to do like a comic, right? And then hopefully it gets really popular. Like a show wants to like reboot it into a show, and then I get really rich, and then I can support my friend Ta into an art company, and then and then I'll hire her, and then she can manage me, and then we can do art together. Um, I'm just joking, but am I? Okay. Um, but I think something like that, or like I think just something with art, I would just be happy doing. Um, of course, like not in poverty. Maybe I would have to change course, but
Yeah.
as long as I'm doing art, I think I would be happy. I come to that
Mm-hmm.
term. Um, yeah, I don't need to be uber rich. Maybe just like maybe my friends just gotta be rich. I gotta just make successful friends,
Yeah.
and then I'll be
Yeah.
happy. I'm joking.
Oh,
That's not why
are
I'm
you sure
friends
about
with
that?
people. Hey, nice to
Wait,
meet you. What's your
when you say
income?
like comic,
What?
is it like is it like the thing you did with the child book, kind of?
Yeah, I something like that. Although that I as much as I enjoyed doing that, it was a bit different because it wasn't like my story I was
Mm-hmm.
telling.
Yeah.
I was like envisioning someone else's story, which is still like great, and I could see myself doing something like that, like illustrating books and stuff. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it'd be even better if it was like my own stories I want to tell.
Mm,
But don't get me wrong, that was a really fun project that I enjoyed doing.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
So you would
mhm.
prefer doing like your own drawing and
Yeah,
writing your own story?
yeah. And also, a mini goal of mine is to just like illustrate a book cover, just one book cover.
Mm,
Yeah, I think that'd
yeah,
be cool.
I think you would be really good at that.
Thanks.
Because we always critique the books when we were TAs in the library. You're like, this cover is fun.
No, I'm like so sick of the flat 2D like
Mm-hmm.
blank face cutout romance. I want to
Yeah.
redraw them all. I don't know. I think more authors needs to. This is my unpopular art opinion. More authors needs to be like, bolder in their covers. I think they're too like worried. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't want to be too standout-ish. Like, okay, great. Now I'm gonna ignore your book. It's too boring.
That's true. I do judge a book by its cover.
Um,
Okay. Next question is, what made you choose an art school?
I chose an art school because I couldn't see myself in like a public university. Just
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to like, you know, uh, do some like because I know my main goal was art, so it didn't make sense for me to like do math and science and all
Yeah.
that stuff if I knew at the end of the day art was my end goal. So I was like, okay. So when I knew art school was a thing, I was like, okay, great, let's cut to the chase.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in some ways, looking at it now that I'm in college, I do kind of miss like some classes that the colleges offer, the universities offer. Like like I really miss like debate and like
Mm-hmm.
philosophy, in those classes where you can just like talk not about art, but like just about like life and philosophical stuff, which you can still do
Mm-hmm.
here, but you gotta encourage it yourself. And maybe I'll see more of that later on, but I yeah, but that's
Yeah.
why. And also, I
And
didn't want to do math.
rap?
No math.
Oh, I was like, rap?
I learned you didn't need math to do math. I was like, okay. So yeah, that's my main reason. Um, yeah, yeah.
Wait, a follow-up question.
Mhm.
Since you're going to MCAT and it's a smaller school, do you think is it better for you that it's better? Or wait, is it better for? Do you think it's better, for you because it's smaller, or like would you prefer like a bigger school?
Um. Now this is an unpopular opinion for MCAT students because I love bigger schools.
Mm-hmm.
I think I asked around like MCAT students and they say I love the small school environment, and I think there's definitely like a lot of plus signs. Like
Mm-hmm.
I see the same people and you get to know the same people, but then that's also a negative because I see the same people and I know the same people.
Yeah.
So there's like once you see everyone, there's like and everyone has their own like bubble or group. That's it. Oh, of course,
Mm-hmm.
like that's not just it, but it's like it's definitely different. It feels more like high school, but everyone is an
Yeah.
art kid and gay, which in a way it could be a lot better than high school. But I do
Mm-hmm.
miss like because I came from like a fairly like biggish high school, but like medium big high school, and MCAT is like way
Hmm.
smaller. Like if my school had like 2,000 kids in just our two grades, um, MCAT has like 600, which is a
Oh
total
my
difference.
God.
So I do like
Yeah.
feel I do enjoy feeling kind of invisible in the biggest school.
Hmm.
You know, like I remember visiting your campus. I'm like I'm rolling by. I didn't care what I was doing. Like I was like
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't care because I was like, oh, I'll probably never see these people, or if I do, I don't remember them. So in a way, like you don't feel that pressure to like like, oh shoot, I don't want to like feel weird, even though I'm in like a weird art school. It's like a weird mind thing in my head, I think. But
Mm.
yeah, yeah, I think there's pros and cons.
I agree with you. I think I definitely like bigger schools better. And like we came from such like a diverse bro, diverse group of friends like in high school. Like everyone was so different. And I feel like since MCAT is so small and especially you're like all art kids, everyone is like kind of the same in some ways. Like everyone is like really similar, I guess. Like you have similar hobbies and stuff because mainly art. But like for a bigger school, I feel like there's a lot more diversity, like with not just like with like people's interests and stuff, and you get to meet new people.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I like bigger schools too.
yeah. I don't know. I kind of disagree with you on like there's like everyone is similar here. I think that's a common misunderstanding.
Yes, okay, go on, go
That's
on.
because I kind of did have that same thought. Like as you like, oh, I'm gonna
Mm.
go into art school. I'm literally gonna have a billion friends because we all love art and we can
Yeah, all
all bond over
relatable.
that.
Yeah.
But in fact, I learned you cannot bond just with art.
Mm.
um, I think so if everyone, it's kind of like if everyone has powers, then nobody has powers. So if everyone loves
Yeah.
art, then you gotta like form connections a different way, which like duh.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But in my mind, I was
Yeah.
like, we're all artists.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I just made like a love gesture or like a heart gesture. So yeah, and also I wish it was more diverse. MCAT is just a very, I don't know, it's not as diverse as I guess I kind of knew going into it. It's diverse in different ways, but not in the ways
Yeah.
I'm looking for. That was different than my high school, which is surprising. But I guess not
Hmm.
really because it's an art school. But yeah.
Okay. Next question is, what do you think about the state of the art industry right now?
Um. Oh, I had a burp. I think it's like I think it's definitely scary right now. Yeah, especially with
Mm.
like AI art. I remember being scared, learning or hearing about that the first time, and just like always, and just like as well as like that, and like the way that art is already viewed, like so like like inconsiderable in society. Like
Yeah.
it's a secondhand thought, even though it's such a necessity that people don't realize it. But it's always like such a secondhand like thought, like oh,
It's like
art.
looked down upon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and yet it's a necessity. I
Hmm.
feel like, especially entertainment, like, so I guess it's like heading into like a head of a snake, like you, you're gonna like I know like after by the end when I graduate it's gonna be rough, and yet I'm still going in it. So that's just how I feel. Like we'll see,
Hmm.
but I'm not so confident. But I know the artist. I don't know about the industry, but I know the artists will support each other. That artists support artists.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that is like something that we kind of like form. I
Hmm.
don't know, like there's like an unspoken bond between
Yeah.
artists, I feel like.
Hmm.
So we'll always support each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially like in like those high schools where you're like the only art kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, our kids reunite. Okay, next question. Okay. When was the moment you knew you wanted to be an artist?
I think I don't remember a moment exactly, It's funny I see that because I wrote the question, so I counteracted my question, but I don't remember a moment. I think like some people, you just kind of, I think like, you know you're good at something, you enjoy doing something, and people tell you, oh, you should do this. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it all makes sense. Like, okay, if this is what I enjoy and I'm good at it too, let's just
Mm-hmm.
do it. And it's a career that's optional. Let's do it. So yeah, I think that's why. That's like, just, I guess. And my parents have always like been very supportive in ways
Yeah.
that I never like, like appreciate it until I grew older. I'm like, wow, it's actually very abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
it didn't occur to me like, oh, it's like, not many people in general, like not even parents, but just people in general, like would support someone who would go into art. But my parents, I think they like, because they supported me, I never doubted in my mind like, should I do
Mm-hmm.
this? I guess I would myself, but I knew they never doubted me. So that
Yeah.
gave me like, like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, encouragement from other people, like, definitely really helped me as an artist, like, to keep going and stuff. Because, like, sometimes you think your art is bad, but they're like, wow, it's so good. And you're like, maybe I am good. So you keep going. Like, I know I got a lot of, like, compliments from my teacher back in elementary school. And when I looked back at my drawing, I was like, this is so bad. Why did they say to keep going? But I'm really glad they did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I wouldn't have. I feel like I wouldn't have done it if I didn't get like that positive reinforcement
Mm-hmm.
from my peers and the adults. But yeah.
Yeah. I have a funny story about that too. I had like I drew a drawing of a dog when I was in kindergarten, and my teacher was so amazed. Like, she did like the thing. I was like, look, class, look at what Mia drew.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But I traced the dog.
Oh my
Look, I
god.
didn't say anything. I said, yep, I
Yeah.
did it.
How me?
And that was the start of my fraudulent art career. Ooh, that's gonna be like a bad. That's gonna like,
Ooh.
what's it
Ooh.
called? This clip is gonna be like, it's gonna turn bad in the future.
Okay. She traced.
I'm gonna get caught up in a tracing scandal, and then they're gonna reference back to this and be like, she always been tracing since the beginning.
Oh yeah, and also, oh yeah, sidetrack, but
Mhm.
when me and you first met, or when I first met your brother, he was like, "Oh my god, you're as good as my sister in drawing," and I was like, "Ooh, who is this random artist that is trying to compete with me?"
You were not
So I was
supporting
like,
artists back
"Let
then.
me just keep drawing. Let me see how good I can be, and then we can compare." It was really funny because I didn't know you. I was like, we'll see about that. We'll see how good she really is.
You were
It's
not
so
artist
funny.
supporting artists back
Look
then.
at us now. Look at us. Look at us now.
I I also, sidetrack. And then I think I had a similar like experience where this kid named Antonio, he knew you, I think. But he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you draw, Todd draws too. You guys should see like who draws better or something." So people were trying to
Why?
pit us against each other.
It's always a competition.
They
So
always
like
make the
that's how
girls
you get
fight.
motivated, though.
I don't know. I think I was curious who you were because until then I
Yeah.
never met anyone who did art or who drew.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
which is like kind of shocking because but I don't remember anyone in elementary who like drew like me or like liked art like
Mm-hmm.
me. Of course there was like some kids, but I think they were really shy, so I just never connected with them.
Yeah.
But I never like, I don't know. I think you were like my first like introduction to
Artist
like,
friend.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
whoa, we had the same passion.
Oh my
And she's good too. Yeah.
god.
So,
Oh, good times.
wow. Imagine though.
Yeah,
Imagine though
literally.
we could have been rivals. Ooh.
Enemies to lovers. Wait, cut that. Cut that.
No, I'm not going through all the editing. This is a raw
Okay,
podcast.
let's move on
Yep.
before I get canceled.
Yep.
Okay. Do you experience imposter syndrome? And if so, how?
Um, like I said, not really in my like ability. Because I think it's just
Mm-hmm.
something I just been doing for so long that at this point, I rarely like I know what I'm good at, like the
Mm-hmm.
materials I'm good at and what I'm like not. Like I know like I'm always gonna pump out bangers with color pencils, but then I have
Yes.
like inconsistencies with like painting and watercolor. Like
Mm.
I'll either it's like sometimes I'll be good at it, sometimes I'll be not, and I know myself like oh like I'm not good at like imagining stuff without a reference,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. So like knowing these things about myself and my like you know strengths and weaknesses, I don't like
Mm-hmm.
doubt myself like oh why am I not already good at this? I know I'm not good at it, so it's something I have to practice. Like I'm like I don't think I'm really good at anatomy, like compared to like people like Joanne, our friend Joanne. Like
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like every time,
Joanne is like a different level. I
yeah,
don't
she's a
know.
different breed. Like every time I think I'm like oh yeah this slays, and then I'm like I think back to Joanne. So I'm like oh god I gotta practice, gotta get on my grind. It's just like it's motivating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to keep my enemies close, guys. Joanne, Ties, my art rivals, Joseph.
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah.
anyways, sorry, we're getting sidetracked. But I so I never really like doubted my like abilities because I know, like okay, I like doing this. I'm good at doing this. I'm not good at doing that. So maybe I should
Yeah.
practice or not do that.
Like people have their own strengths and
Yeah.
weaknesses, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I will say though, there has been times where I'm like trying to draw digital. I think this happens more digitally, but whenever I'm trying to draw digitally, like freehand imagination, it always is like so dog poop. I don't know why. It
Mm.
just like, but it's only when I do digital drawings, and I try to like freehand draw. It's just like I don't know. Unless I have like references with me, it's just so hard for my little
Like
brain.
digital, I feel like there's so much you can change and so much you can
Mm.
do. Sometimes like you get overwhelmed in trying to make it perfect.
Mm.
That like the process feels bad when you're drawing.
That's
Well,
a
on
good
paper, it's like
input. Yeah.
you only have one tool, or
Mm-hmm.
like or multiple mediums, but whatever. But like digital is really different because there's a lot of things you can do, and it's hard to utilize everything
I actually never
and
thought
not
about it that
feeling
way.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, I never thought
Hmm.
about it that way. Like you have so many choices to like
Yeah, and
redo that it just
like the tool liquify, like there's so many cheats,
yeah.
but like in some way that can be bad
Mm-hmm.
because you just like tweak it so much it doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
natural.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I do experience like imposter syndrome and like unironically the career I'm going into or wanting to go into, which is comics.
Mm.
Because I already like feel pretty confident in my like illustration and like fine arts ability. Like of course I can always improve, and I'm improving or wanting to improve. Like
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, my anatomy is still doo doo. I could get better at
Mm-hmm.
realism. But like as of right now, it's like I feel confident in those skills, or like I so like where it's like it doesn't like nourish my brain to keep like delving into that because I'm already like okay like I feel confident. I feel confident that
Mm-hmm.
even
Yeah.
if I'm like not like master level, I just feel confident. But like a career that I'm going into, which is why maybe I picked it because it was like a challenge for me, which is
Mm-hmm.
comics, and I don't feel like I belong really. Like when I talk to other comic students, it's because like I'm not into like the media of comics that much. Like I read a
Yeah.
few webtoons here and there as a kid, but I'm like not huge into Marvel comics or like even comics in general. I just enjoy reading
Mm-hmm.
some. So I don't know. That's like where I feel like the disconnect. Like, am I passionate enough? Do I know enough comic facts to go into this industry? Like, if I don't, like, why am I going into it? But also, like, my RA has like a similar experience as me, where he like knew nothing about comics and went into it still. So I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Give it a try.
Let's do this
Yeah.
blind.
No,
Yeah.
I was really surprised when you said comics, to be honest,
Me
because
too.
like because your art is like mainly I would say like traditional, even though you do like color and digital stuff on the side. So I was very surprised when you said comic, but I like that you're trying something new. So like maybe improve on something that you're not good at. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll find like a love for it even more than what you're doing now.
I
Yeah.
actually remember we did have a conversation like this where we were talking about like styles and stuff, and I said, ironically, like even though I'm like I feel like I'm better at like traditional and like
Yeah.
illustration and digital or not illustration, like I feel like I'm better, like my strong points are like in the traditional realism, semi-realism
Mhm.
arts.
Yeah.
I'm like passionate about like the what you and Joanne do, which is like digital character art,
Mhm.
like which I don't, which is like it's funny because like the work I put into is all of my like traditional art. Like I don't
Yeah.
like do a lot of like illustrations. That's digital, like just sometimes for like the Instagram. But I don't like really do it like in my free time. Whereas I do way more of that. Even though I don't want to go into that career, I just do it because I think it's comfortable. Like I'm like
Mhm.
already good at it, so I just keep on doing it. Whereas like comics and stuff, I don't do it as much because it's like more like foreign territory. Even though like
Yeah.
it really interests me into like telling a story
Mm.
that way. Um, which is why I'm like it's a little scary. I'm like I never really tried it, but we'll see. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Please draw me a comic, please. Want to hear zine? Will you make a zine?
I am making a zine right now. Oh wait, you know what? I got accepted
Hey.
to like a um, zine fest at MCAD. There's like a where you can sell zines. Yeah, I got a
Wait, are you
booth.
making one? Wait, are you selling it?
Yeah, here. So there's like MCAD has like
Oh.
a zine fest booth where you can like sell zines.
Mm.
Um, and so I was able to. You have to do like a survey and get accepted, but I
Yeah.
got accepted, so I can do a table.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
We
Let's
can make
go.
money. Yay.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sell them for like $1 each. But I don't know. I'm pretty
Mhm.
proud of my zines. My zines.
Wait, is that the one from like last year?
Yeah, but I'm gonna make a new one this year. New
Mm.
Inktober zine.
Oh, it's an Inktober one.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm cooking up
Okay.
something.
Where are we? Okay. Last official question. Before we move on to the bonus questions. So one advice for the incoming freshmen.
Write your essay right now.
Oh, oh,
I'm just
oh!
joking, but
Wait,
not
did you
really.
write it when you? Oh wait, when you applied to
Yeah,
MCAT?
yeah. Write your college essay right
Oh,
now. I would say, if you want to go into like an art school, work on your like portfolio, because that's if you're worried financially, your portfolio is gonna be where you get your merit scholarships. So if you
mm-hmm.
worry about the financial part of attending art school, which I get, it's so expensive. Your portfolio is where it's gonna help you the most, and probably also your like written statement. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where it's like different from bigger universities because like I like that it's more dependent on your skill level, like your portfolio and stuff instead of like kind of your grades. Like
Yeah.
even though like grades matter, like I think just showing what you can do
Mhm.
and like yeah, just like showing your skills is what is more important, which is what I like about MCAT or like any art school.
Yeah.
Look at the portfolio.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's all for today. Okay.
Wait, we
Just
got to clap
kidding.
for bonus round. Bonus round.
Oh, clap for bonus round.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on. The first bonus question is what makes an artwork good?
If the artists feel like it's complete, then I'm like, okay,
Mm.
yeah. But then again, that could be controversial because they might think it's complete, and I'm like, you need to maybe render it more, please. um, but I mean, if they're satisfied and they're proud of their work, then
Mhm.
most of the time you can see it in their artwork. If they're like, cause like usually during critique at MCAT, like you kind of know if an artist is like not satisfied, happy with their work because of the
Yeah.
So like once you do see they're happy with their work and they're complete, they show it in their mannerisms and then like they show it in their art. So it's like I appreciate it more,
Mhm.
and I think that's what makes an artwork good. It's like they're proud of their work, you know, and they know it's the best they could do.
Mm. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
and if it's like aesthetically pleasing, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Like if the artists themselves feel happy with the drawing, yeah, because like even though some drawings can be like really good to you, but like not to the
Yeah.
artist itself, it's like different
Yeah.
depending on your view.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that. Okay, so next is an art style that you love and one that you hate. Ooh, juicy.
I I loved like like Korean Chinese translated novel art covers. The
Mm,
semi-realism, like beautiful rendered artworks is like one of my
yeah.
biggest digital inspirations. Um, Also my friends, I like, I always look up to them and like oh wait,
Oh my god.
this is not an inspiration. um
Glaze.
but yeah, I like the semi-realism. I think semi-realism is like what I really like. And also what I like doing, I like uh comic art styles like the book Smile. I think it's just like really fun and like yeah. Smile. Um I can't remember on top of my, I don't know, I love all types of artists. um
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's like, I don't know, take a look at my Instagram following. I love them all. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now one that you hate.
So there's this artist named Ta Wen.
Ooh.
I hate
Oh,
her
I thought
art.
you were gonna say modern, and I was gonna agree with you.
She
I mean, go
never
on, go on.
posts her art, so I don't like her.
Is that why
um
you don't follow me on your other account?
we're gonna cut that part
Shame.
out. We're gonna cut that part out. um no, I think we had talked about it before, but like just like those like blank two cell shading like book covers. It's so like there's
Mhm.
no passion, there's no like heart. It's just like, okay, this is the two characters. All right. It's
Yeah.
like I feel nothing when I look at the
Like,
cover.
where's the
I
flavor,
feel
right?
nothing. Yeah.
Where's the
Yeah.
flavor?
Like, oh my god, it's so disappointing. And especially if the book is good. It's like, oh my god. So I really hope like those authors invest in new artists because that's a crime. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I guess another one I hate is like, I have a lot. I feel like.
She's full of hatred.
um, I hate. Wait, what's the question? I know I wrote it. And I
Is an art style that you love and one that you hate. Art style.
Okay.
There's like a lot, but it's hard to say. Well, like,
Yeah,
because people have like different style, and I don't really know how to categorize it.
that's true. I mean, like, there's like
Yeah.
always like different like techniques I don't like.
Yeah.
I hate like coloring with just airbrush. Like annoys me. It
Mm-hmm.
like grinds my gear. I'm like, just take a sharp, which is ironic because I feel like I overly
You
render.
use brush.
Yeah, I airbrush overly airbrush, but you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like it's just the line art and then just the airbrush coloring it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Um, which is I'm also hypocritical because I use a lot of
That.
airbrush, but sometimes a good like sharp edge for shadow.
Yeah. Oh my god. I remember like in class, I would always like Mia. Stop making it so smooth and so
Did you see
blended.
my
Like
recent
just like use
Instagram?
a
I
sharp
like
edge.
improved on that.
Yeah. You know
Hmm.
what? I'm really glad that you did actually.
Thanks.
Because I would be like, what are you doing? I told you. I told you.
It's because I was trying to like imitate like realism, and then I was trying to
Yeah,
imitate
yeah.
in like, and then I was trying to do like semi-realism, which they still like
Mm-hmm.
kind of blend. I don't know. I think yeah, it was like overly like rendered in some
Okay,
aspects.
now that you say it, it makes sense. Like, because you're more used to traditional and like you kind
Hmm.
of into digital. I guess that's
Yeah.
why you try to
Yeah.
like imitate that.
Hmm.
Oh, I
Yeah.
never know. I just thought you were doing it. I was like,
You're like, stop. No
stop
rhyme or
right
reason.
there.
Just stop.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so envious of the artist. Now this is not hate, this is love. I'm so envious of the artists where it's like, I feel like I'm not there quite yet, but like I love the artist who's like line art can like carry the drawing, so like they're coloring like they can like just like do like a lazy coloring, but the line art is so good it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like especially those like webcomic artists, it's like the coloring is like maybe like two colors, three colors and a highlight, which is fine because like the line art is so gorgeous. It's like it, yeah.
You know
That's my
what? I
goal.
agree with you. Like line art is like definitely not a strong suit of mine.
Yeah.
Like I want to get better at line art, but it's really
Same.
hard.
I think my line art is like okay. I definitely like be like okay, let's let's fix it up in the rendering process. We can bedazzle it. Yeah, but I think like my ultimate goal is like okay, like those like artists whose like line art is just so good. It's like
Yeah, just making the raw line art itself shine through the picture is
like you don't even need the
definitely a big
colors
goal.
to like express it. Okay, that's all.
Okay. Oh, good one. Why did you choose this major?
Okay, honestly, like it just been like a multiple like of small events in my life. Like it started from like when I was a kid. Like I would watch Disney movies and then like redraw it on my little like etch a sketch, or not etch a sketch, but like those like magnetic drawing tool. Are you looking at your phone?
No. No, wait, I just have to. What?
No way.
Okay.
Anyways, you're the worst
Sorry.
podcast interviewer ever.
No, I thought I could just look at it for 1 second. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
So disrespectful. I feel so disrespected.
Little aspect of your life. Sorry when you were little.
Stop trying to distract.
Okay.
But okay. So yeah, so when I was little I would love to like, really like tell the stories of like the movies I watched, like Snow White, Cinderella. And then as I got older, I think I read the book Smile, which was like a canon event in my head. I was like, whoa, I love this. So I would like reread that book over and over, and I would just like be so in love with it. And then, as I grew older, I would read webcomics, and I was like, I love this. But like throughout the whole time, I'm like, I never thought of comics art as like a career to go into. It was just kind of something like I enjoy consuming. But it wasn't something I always thought like, okay, I could do it, because I still didn't feel like I knew comics well enough. But also like I didn't want to be like a gallery artist, even though I think that's what my parents wanted me to do. I think they still want me. I haven't told them I was looking into comics art. I think they still think I want to go into gallery work, but that's okay. I can do both.
It's fine. Yeah.
Actually, I would love to do both. I think there's a lot to love in gallery work. But anyways, and then so a big push was I went to this book fair where I met a comic artist who's like, who I kind of talked with, and I was like very honest with him. I was like, hey, I'm going into art school. How are you doing like financially? How are you like doing this career? Like how do you, like, is it worth it? And he says, like he was like, this was the author of The Magical Fish, I think. But but he spoke to me. He was so kind because I like bothered him so much, but I was just like bombarding him with questions, and he was so kind. He responded. He was like, for me, and I just like kind of learning his story and like how he does it. It was like it made it feel more realistic, like something I could do and I could see myself doing. So. Yeah, I think that was like the push I needed. And also I learned he worked in Minnesota. So I was like, okay, so artists do exist in Minnesota. So I was like, that's so cool. And then I also met another artist that day at the book fair. He went to MCAT, and he was like a really renowned like Marvel artist. And he was like, and I asked like, oh, what school did you go to? He said MCAT. I'm like, what?
Wow.
You went to the small jinky school? I'm kidding. It's not jinky, guys. It's just, I didn't think anyone would come. Yeah, I just don't know anyone from MCAD. But I was like
successful.
But I was just like very surprised. Yeah, so I was like, so those were like the two pushes. I was like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
see, like people can like come from a very small place and like
Mm-hmm.
um come up and do like amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really inspiring to see, and it definitely pushes you to like try
Oh yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and next question is, what is your
Wait,
binge art food?
I want to keep on responding to the other one. I have another thought.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead. Let's go back.
Yeah, and also I think it'd just be so cool. Like as much as I have thought about like maybe going to animation or like working for Disney or Pixar because it is something more like stable, quote quote. But I just always think it would be cool to have your like own like work in your hand, whether that's a
Yeah.
gallery or like a physical like I made this. Look at it. It's all
Mm-hmm.
mine. Because I think another part of me, which is kind of like low key toxic, is like I love control in my work.
Mm,
Unless like I have like, unless we're on like the same page, and like
yeah.
same mind. I have just like I want control and like, you know, in my work, and
Mm-hmm.
knowing it's like my baby and all mine, and I did the whole thing,
Yeah.
start to finish. I think I'm just really proud of it. Um, but that doesn't mean I can't collaborate. Any future jobs listening to this?
Honestly, I think I have to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like I don't think being greedy is a bad thing because like you just want that product to be
Yeah.
like you put in your blood, sweat, and tears into it, right? So you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this is mine, and I'm really proud of it. And like working with other people. Honestly, me and you working together is kind of is really bad
The only way
because
it
I
would
feel like
work.
we both like
Yeah,
control.
the
So
only way it
everything is
would work is like I would have to not care about the project, and then I would be
yeah,
okay with like
yeah.
giving someone else like more roles. But like I remember, okay, this is where I acknowledge like I was the issue. Like I remember in your book, I think I definitely had like a power play, because I was like I wanted it to be so good because like
Hmm.
it was a collaborative process, but it was also like had my name in it, so I was like I wanted it to be
Yeah.
good. So sorry, your
And
book
I think your
team.
passion level on that project was like a
Yeah.
lot higher than all the other people.
Okay, well we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's another thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your binge art food?
um. Sunflower seeds. Yeah. Sunflower
Oh,
seeds.
really?
Hmm.
Oh wait,
Sunflower
I think
seeds or
I do remember
goldfish.
you eating sunflower seeds when you draw.
Sunflower seeds or goldfish are just like something I can munch on, like
Mm-hmm.
nibble at while I'm like drawing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Do you eat with the same hand you draw with?
No, it's
Mm,
like my left hand I'm grabbing.
it's ambidextrous.
Sure.
Oh, wait. Pause.
Okay, back on.
Where were we?
Foods I eat.
Ambidextrous.
Oh yeah. Yeah, ever since I was little, I've been drawing with both hands. But then I stopped because I only needed one. So my left hand became weak.
Oh, okay. Would you say you eat every time you draw?
Um, Back when my parents funded my food. Now I don't.
That just broke. Oh my god.
Or like,
Yeah, that's kind of real.
yeah. Back when like, yeah. I mean, now, I have some goldfish I would munch on. Or actually, wait, you know what? I'm eating gummies right now.
We have limited resources though.
Yeah, it's not the same. I don't get that like satisfying salty crunch, but that's okay.
Mm.
Do
Okay.
you? Oh wait, you said you don't.
I don't eat. Period.
Um, eat that bread.
I love food, but I don't eat while I draw.
Mm.
Unfortunately. Okay. Next question. Do you make art for yourself or for others?
I think right now, definitely for others.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because kind of like with like I love sharing art, and I think like a big part of art is like I want to share it, especially when I'm proud of it, and I think like when you're doing something like that storytelling aspect, I think it's just cool to share and interact with those. Like I love consuming art, so I think I would do the same like by giving art, give in exchange. And also like I just post a lot on my Instagram, so you should follow me at Mia Mia Art. At It's
Wow.
Another Artist.
The plug-in
Give
in
me
the middle of the
attention.
podcast.
Give me likes. But I don't know. I like sharing my art. Of course, there's like always drawings I keep just from I like my sketches. I just keep for myself. Unless my friends look through them, then I have no choice. But art, like there's art I do keep for myself where I like things I enjoy drawing that I wouldn't like necessarily share. Um, but then there is art like I have intentions of sharing. Like, ooh, this is so cool. I'm so proud of this. Post. Yeah.
I agree. Okay. Next question is an unpopular art opinion that you have. Think long and hard about this. Your answer will determine the rest of your life.
And it's funny because I interviewed these people with the same questions, but now I don't have an answer because I kind of like agree with all of theirs. um, I think I kind of like with you. I don't like the art that's like being promoted mainstream. Like I don't love how like, if I was a rich billionaire and I didn't want to pay taxes, I wanted to buy art, I would at least buy like really cool good art to promote really cool good art. Like, yeah, I think, I don't like I think right now when people think of art, it's either like Renaissance or like modern abstract. They're not even abstract. It's more like contemporary art, which I, it's unfortunate because we're missing so many creative different art forms, and I just don't like the mainstream ones right now. And hopefully that's yet to change. Yeah.
Yeah, like
But actually, I don't know if that's unpopular. I think that's very popular.
big downgrade,
Yeah.
honestly, from where we were.
Yeah.
And it's not very expressive in the way of the visual itself, maybe in the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then biggest art inspo. Me.
Um, I would say over time has changed, like but like a lot of it is like the media I consume. I honestly, weirdly enough, like movies I watch, like everything everywhere all at once, like even though I'm not even close to being a filmmaker or wanting to be a filmmaker, it just like inspired me so much about like what I can do with like narrative and storytelling. Like I was like, wow. I'm like, whose amazing mind is this? Like it's
like cinematography, like the way they capture a scene is like really awesome.
Yeah.
It's so magical in a way.
I think like my real inspirations are like people with like powerful minds who like craft these amazing worlds and stories, and like movies like Studio Ghibli, and like it's like how did their brain come up with this? It's like I love it. Yeah. Oh, is this boring?
My bad.
Is this boring you? You just yawned?
It's been a long day. Okay, next question. Your favorite process in your art?
I think the coloring part as well. Yeah. And I think also like the ending where like I come to an end, I'm really satisfied or not, but most of the time hopefully I am, and it's that good feeling. It was all worth it. Adding the finishing touches.
And like the trust the process thing.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like sometimes for me, like even when I finish a drawing, I don't feel satisfied because I enjoyed the building up of it more than the ending.
I see.
It's about the
journey,
not the wait. What is it?
It's about the friends you make along the way, not the destination or something.
Yeah, not the destination. Yes, yes, that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
That's cool.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
This is your final and last question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say one nice thing about my art? Okay,
I don't know if I
Noah,
can. This is a
one
hard
nice
question.
thing. Can you say one nice thing about AI art?
Yeah, I think AI art is the future, and I think we as artists just need to like step down and like
Right,
stop creating
right.
art. Like I don't like when artists say like, "Oh, our jobs are gonna get stolen." I'm like, "Yeah, good. If it's so easy, maybe it
This is
should."
gonna be the future.
And I just like love looking at AI art, and it's like like amazing, beautiful like details. Like it's so
I
genius.
love
Like
that sometimes they have like 6 fingers and like
oh
their
yeah,
hand
like
disappear into their toe. I don't
who
know.
like I humans couldn't think of that. Like we're
Yeah.
not good enough to think of that. So
Like I
that's
think we're too realistic.
yeah.
Like I like the
Mhm.
way that AI take control and like merge things
Yeah.
together.
And I love just how like soulless it is, and it's like it could be so beautiful and yet so soulless at the same time. I just
Yeah. Like it's really beautiful.
that's my final answer.
Stop the glaze.
Can that be my answer?
Yeah, that can.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
All right, and this ends this wonderful hour interview. This is the longest interview.
Wait,
It's
really?
been 51 minutes. This has been the
Why are we
longest
talking so
one.
much?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. As you can see, this is why I chose this project cuz I just want to yap. I just want to yap with people. Anyways,
You
thank you
picked
for
the wrong
listening.
interviewer.
Hmm?
Huh? Nothing.
All right. Bye.
Have a good day, guys. Goodbye.
It's actually night. It's like 11 o'clock, 12:10. Okay, bye.